Scorpio, you are dying. Not physically, but in a much more frightening way. You are dying inside as you desperately cling to something you should have let go of long ago. There is someone or some situation in your life that is literally sucking your life force, draining the intensity that defines you, extinguishing the fire that has always burned within you. And the most terrifying thing, you know it. You feel each day, each hour, each interaction, bringing you closer to an emptiness you don't recognize. But still, you can't let go. Because for you, Scorpio, letting go isn't just a rational decision. It's like ripping out a piece of your own soul while you're still alive. Have you ever spent entire nights staring at the ceiling, feeling your chest tighten as you think about that person or situation? Have you ever felt that real, physical pain, like someone was sticking a knife in your stomach and slowly twisting it? It's not a metaphor, that's exactly how you feel. Because when Scorpio loves, when they connect, when they commit to something, they don't do it halfway. They dive deep, surrender completely, merging their very identity with what they've chosen. And now, the idea of separating from it seems impossible. It feels like death, and in a way it is. But what you haven't fully realized yet is that staying is killing you in a much worse way. The goodbye you're so afraid to say is exactly what will save you. I'm not talking about saving in the soft, comforting sense people use when they want to make you feel better. I'm talking about saving in the most literal and urgent sense of the word. You need this goodbye like a drowning person needs air. You need it like someone trapped in a burning building needs to find the exit. This goodbye hurts because it's the only thing standing between you and your own emotional extinction. A part of you already knows who or what I'm talking about. Your entire body recognized the truth even before your mind formed the name or the full situation. Your stomach tightened. Your breathing changed. That familiar weight appeared in your chest, because Scorpio always knows the truth, even when they spend all their energy trying not to see it. Let me tell you something no one else will have the courage to say. You're not being loyal by staying where you are. You're being cowardly. And I say this with all love and respect because I know that Scorpio courage is one of the most powerful forces in the zodiac, but it's being directed in the wrong direction. You're using all your strength, all your intensity, all your ability to endure pain, to hold on to something that's destroying you. You're using your courage to die slowly instead of using it to say the goodbye that would set you free. The person or situation you need to let go of has already shown who they truly are. They've proven through repeated actions that they won't change. But you, with that stubborn hope only Scorpio possesses, continue to believe that if you love yourself deeply enough, forgive yourself one more time, give yourself one more chance, something will change. You keep returning to the same poisoned spring, hoping that this time the water will be clean. Scorpio has a unique ability to see potential in people and situations. You see beyond the surface, beyond the obvious. You see what could be if only. If only she would change, if only he would grow, if only the circumstances were different. And this vision, this gift of yours to see deeply, becomes your own prison. Because you keep loving the potential version of someone while the real version continues to hurt you every day. The pain of this goodbye isn't just the loss of what exists, it's the death of what you imagined could exist. It's letting go of not just a person or situation, but all the futures you've built in your head. All the versions of you together that you dreamed of, all the transformations you believed were possible. And for someone who lives as intensely within their own feelings as you do, this death of dreams hurts as much as the death of reality. But here's the harsh truth you need to swallow. Those futures you imagined never existed. They were fantasies built on a foundation that was always shaky. And while you live in those fantasies, your real life is passing you by. Real opportunities for love, growth, and happiness are being wasted because you're investing all your emotional energy into something that was never real to begin with. Have you ever noticed that you can no longer feel real joy in anything? That even in moments that should be good, there's a heavy shadow in the back of your mind, that you're just surviving, going on autopilot, without feeling that passionate intensity for life that has always been your hallmark? This is what happens when Scorpio stays trapped in something toxic. You don't just lose that specific person or situation when you finally leave. You're losing yourself now, every day, as you continue. To choose to stay, Scorpio transformation always involves death. Always. You can't be reborn without first dying to what you were. And the goodbye you're avoiding is your own symbolic death. The death of the version of you that believed this could work. The death of the you who justified the unjustifiable, who forgave the unforgivable, who settled for scraps while deserving a feast. Scorpio, I know you're feeling all of this sinking deep into your chest right now. I know your defenses are trying to rise, trying to find reasons to explain why your situation is different, why you can't just let go. I know you're remembering the good times, the promises made, all the reasons you invested so much in this. But I need you to be brutally honest with yourself right now, not with the world, not with me, but with yourself. And brutal honesty is something Scorpio knows how to do better than anyone when they decide to face the truth. So answer me. How many days in the last few months have you truly felt at peace? How many nights have you slept without that heaviness, without that anxiety, without that chest pain? How many times have you looked in the mirror and liked the person you saw, the person you are becoming in this situation? If this video resonated with you, if you recognized your own story in these words, leave a comment now saying, I am ready for the rebirth that only comes after goodbye. It's not just a comment. It's a statement of intent to the universe. It's you acknowledging that the pain of goodbye, as unbearable as it may seem, is less than the pain of continuing to die slowly. And when you write this, you're giving strength to other Scorpios who are in the same struggle, who are clinging to what's killing them, who need to see that someone had the courage to look the truth in the face. The goodbye you need to say won't happen in a perfect conversation where you say everything you've always wanted to say and the other person finally understands and validates your feelings. It won't have that cinematic ending where everything makes sense and you embrace with tears of mutual understanding. The reality is that it will likely be confusing, incomplete, and painful in ways you never imagined. And you'll have to make peace with that. Scorpio wants intensity even at the end. They want even the goodbye to be memorable, meaningful, and transformative for both parties. But sometimes the most powerful goodbye is the simplest. You simply stop coming back. Stop responding, stop giving chances, stop explaining. You just walk away. And the depth, the intensity, the transformation happen within you, not in the final interaction with the other person. The hardest part won't be the moment of goodbye itself. It'll be every day afterward when you'll long to return. When the absence will hurt so much that you'll consider anything better than this emptiness. When you'll romanticize even the worst parts of what you had, turning torture into nostalgia. And in those moments, you'll need to remember why you left. You'll need to cling to the truth with the same intensity you used to cling to the illusion. Your Scorpio power lies in your ability to rise from the ashes. But first, you must allow the ashes to exist. You must let it burn completely, without trying to save the parts that should die. The fire of goodbye will consume not only the relationship or situation, but also the parts of you that need to be destroyed. The part that accepts less than it deserves. The part that mistakes intensity for love. The part that thinks suffering is proof of depth. Have you noticed how bitter you've become? How that Scorpio anger, which should be directed at what hurts you, is turning inward. How you're starting to hate yourself for not being able to let go, for being weak enough to keep coming back. This self-destructive anger is a clear sign that you've long since passed the point where you should have left. The truth is, you're not weak. You're frighteningly strong. The problem is, you're using your strength in the wrong place. You're using it to endure the unbearable instead of doing the impossible, which is walking away from something that a part of you still wants, but that your whole being knows is killing you. Saying goodbye will reveal who truly cares about you, because the people who genuinely love you will celebrate your release, even if it means losing their connection with you. They'll understand that you needed this to survive. But toxic people? They'll fight to keep you trapped. They'll make promises, they'll temporarily change, they'll say exactly what you've always wanted to hear, because they know they're losing control over you. And you, Scorpio, need to be prepared for this final manipulation. You need to recognize it for what it is, a last, desperate effort to keep you in the dynamic that has always benefited the other person more than you. Because if their love were real, if the respect existed, these changes would have happened when you begged for them, not just when you're about to walk away forever. You'll discover things about yourself after this goodbye that you never could have discovered while you were still there. You'll find parts of yourself that were buried under the weight of this situation. You'll remember dreams you'd forgotten. You'll feel emotions you never even realized existed. You'll wake up one day and realize you haven't thought about that person for hours, and that will be the day that truly marks the beginning of your healing. But before that, you'll have to go through dark nights where you'll doubt everything, where you'll wonder if you made the right choice, where loneliness will seem worse than the suffering you felt before. And in those moments, you'll need to remember, loneliness is simply the absence of company, but you were deeply alone even when that person was present. The difference is that now you're alone with the possibility of a future, not alone trapped in a cycle with no way out. Scorpio has an incredible ability to use their own pain as fuel for transformation. You can take the agony of this goodbye and transform it into the strength you need to build a completely new life. You can use all that emotional intensity, which was being wasted in a stagnant situation, to create something extraordinary. But only if you truly let go, only if you stop going back. The Scorpio rebirth is never comfortable. It's never smooth. It's always brutal, bloody, and painful, but it's also always necessary. You can't remain the same old version of yourself and expect different results. You can't carry the dead weight of toxic relationships and situations and expect to soar. I want you to understand something fundamental. This goodbye is not a defeat. It's not you giving up. It's you finally choosing yourself. It's you recognizing that your life, your mental health, your peace, your future are worth more than any connection that requires you to destroy yourself to maintain it. And that choice, that's the bravest thing you can do. You've probably spent your entire life hearing about Scorpio's intense nature, about how you love deeply, feel strongly, and commit completely, and it's true. But you know what else is true? That you deserve to receive back the same intensity you give, that you deserve someone who commits to you as deeply as you commit to them, that you deserve something that doesn't require you to contort yourself, diminish yourself, and lose yourself to function. The fear you feel about this goodbye is valid. It's real. But do you know what else is real? The fact that you've survived other symbolic deaths before. You've experienced other transformations, other losses, other endings that seemed impossible to bear. And you didn't just survive. You emerged stronger, wiser, more powerful. This goodbye will be no different. The pain is temporary, but the freedom that comes after, that's permanent. In the coming days and weeks, you'll begin to notice signs that you made the right choice. Small moments where you breathe more easily. Mornings where you wake up without that immediate heaviness in your chest. Conversations with friends where you truly laugh, genuinely for the first time in months. These moments will be your confirmation that the goodbye, however painful, was necessary. And eventually the day will come when you'll look back and wonder how you endured so much for so long, how you managed to live in that state of constant suffering, how you accepted crumbs when you deserved abundance, and you'll feel profound gratitude, not for the person or situation you left behind, but for yourself, for finally having the courage to say goodbye. Scorpio, your true power isn't in your ability to endure pain. It's in your ability to transform that pain into something new, to die completely to an old version of yourself and be reborn as something entirely different. To take the darkest of experiences and extract from them wisdom, strength, and purpose. This goodbye will hurt. It will hurt in ways you can't anticipate right now. There will be moments where you'll want to go back, where you'll doubt yourself, where you'll feel weaker than ever. But on the other side of this suffering lies a version of you waiting to be born. A version that won't settle for less than it deserves, that won't settle for half-hearted loves, that won't lose itself in other people to the point of forgetting who it is. The question isn't whether you have the strength to say goodbye. You do. The question is whether you have the courage to use that strength for your own liberation rather than your own destruction. Whether you're ready to channel all that Scorpio intensity into building a new life rather than holding on to an old one that's killing you. The universe won't say this goodbye for you. It won't rip this person or situation from your life while you cling to it with all your might. You'll have to be the agent of your own transformation. You'll have to consciously choose the necessary death that precedes every Scorpio rebirth. If you're reading these words now, it's because the time has come. Not tomorrow, not when you feel stronger, not when the other person gives you some kind of permission or closure. Now, this is the moment where you decide whether you'll continue to die slowly or whether you'll have the courage to say the goodbye that will save your life. You've always known this moment would come. You've always felt somewhere deep down that this situation wasn't sustainable, that you couldn't continue like this indefinitely. Now you're being called to honor that inner wisdom, to trust that Scorpio intuition that has never failed you. Goodbye hurts. But the life that awaits you on the other side, it's worth every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt, because you weren't made to survive on scraps. You were made for profound experiences, intense connections, love that lifts you up instead of destroying you. And you'll never have access to that as long as you keep your hands full with what doesn't serve you. Let go, let go. Say the impossible goodbye. And then prepare to discover who you become when you're no longer spending all your energy keeping alive something that should have been buried long ago. Prepare for your own rebirth. If these words reached you, it wasn't a coincidence. It was because you're ready, even if you don't feel ready. Share your decision, your courage, and your commitment to your own life in the comments. No need to give details, just acknowledge that you've heard the call and are ready to answer. Subscribe to the channel because the process of healing and rebirth after this goodbye will require ongoing support. You'll need constant reminders of why you left, validation when doubt arises, and encouragement when you want to return. Turn on notifications to receive guidance that will strengthen you through the rebuilding process. This goodbye will save your life. And the version of you that emerges on the other side will look back and be grateful for the courage you're about to have.